Consequences of a revocation of bankruptcy discharge. Attorney Shawn Devries explains, the process starts when a party in interest, creditors or trustee, uncovers a fraud and files a complaint with the bankruptcy court. A debtor is entitled to notice of a revocation request and the right to a hearing in court. A motion to revoke a bankruptcy discharge is an adversary proceeding where both parties must produce documentary evidence and testimony at a hearing. Debtors who are found guilty of bankruptcy fraud and any other reason that could result in a revocation and their discharge will have the following consequences. Firstly, the debts are reinstated as if Chapter 7 bankruptcy was never filed. In cases where the debt accrued interest, the debtors are expected to pay the interest as well. Worse still, such debts may continue to accrue interest, making the debtor's financial situation more adverse. Next would be loss of assets. Whenever a court revokes a debt discharge, the debtor's non-exempt assets are liquidated to pay off creditors. If the money raised from the liquidation of assets is insufficient, unpaid creditors can still pursue state law claims to recover unpaid debts. It could also lead to criminal charges where the Department of Justice might find a debtor guilty of bankruptcy fraud or establish that they committed other bankruptcy crimes like perjury. Debtors may also be prosecuted for other crimes like tax fraud, which will attract separate penalties. The consequences of committing bankruptcy fraud are usually stiff. A debtor may receive up to 5 years of federal prison and could also be assessed fines. Lastly, it leads to the inability to apply for bankruptcy. Debtors who have their Chapter 7 bankruptcy discharge revoked may not file another bankruptcy case immediately. Depending on the circumstances, debtors may have to wait for several years before applying for bankruptcy again. In some cases, debtors won't be allowed to file bankruptcy ever. When it comes to uncompromising dedication and knowledge of bankruptcy law, our team at the Devries Law Firm, PA, is comprised of dedicated individuals with impressive credentials and experience. Contact us for a consult to discuss your issues today.